Hey guys, it's Laura from Arley House. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be taking you along for a little day in the life type video. Kids have been requesting granola for breakfast, so I thought I would make a big batch of granola and then we can just have this for easy breakfast in the morning. I like to serve this with just some like sliced bananas or some fresh berries, and we get raw milk from a local farm, so this is a nice and easy healthy breakfast that we can have on busy mornings. I am not really measuring this at all. I've made granola so many times, I just know the consistency that I'm looking for before putting in the oven, so I just kind of eyeball it. I do have an exact recipe on my blog, so I can link that below if you aren't familiar with granola and you want to follow a recipe. I find that the first few times that I make something, especially like granola, it's easier to follow an exact recipe, and then now that I know like what I'm looking for, it's easy to make just by eyeballing it. Alright, so today I'm also going to be making some soap. This is a recipe that we are actually making for the blog. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the blog before I post this. I'm not really sure of the schedule of events here, of what's posting when, but it will eventually be on the blog, and at the time of me recording this voiceover, I've already cut the soap and it is just, I love it. I love the texture of it. It obviously still has to cure before we can use it, but I can tell just by the texture, I've made lots of soap, that it's going to be a really nice bar. So for this one, I'm adding in a little bit of beeswax just to experiment with making a harder soap bar. And like I said, when I cut it, I could just tell it's going to be really nice. I love the way that it turned out. So I'm making it with just a few different ingredients. I always keep all the things I need to make soap on hand, and it makes it to where when it's time to make the soap, it's very easy. I can get a recipe very quick by using a soap calculator and then whipping it up. And making your own soap and just different skincare items like this really save our family so much money. We have a large family, and things like soap and lotions can really add up when you're buying it. But in this case, when I can make my own, it is just saves us, our family, a lot of money. So for this, I'm using ingredients that I already had on hand, and I'm whipping these up very quickly. Obviously I won't be able to use them right away because they have to cure, but the actual like action time of making these is very simple. I have lots of soap recipes on my blog, so I'll link that below, and this exact one will be on the blog hopefully before this video goes live. Now you see, when I'm making the soap, I do not have my baby attached to me. When I'm working with lye, I make sure to not have any kids around, just because if it gets on the skin, it can be harmful. I keep all of my lye making ingredients up very high in my closet, and then I never do this with a baby attached to me. So I actually nursed him to sleep in my bed, and he woke up right when I laid him down. He rolled over and I patted him, and he stayed asleep there, and I just can't even believe that he stayed asleep because he never sleeps down away from me. And even when I was done making the soap, he was still sleeping. And so I decided to go right into another project that I've been needing to do, and that is just organizing kid clothes. So I am very, very blessed to have so many family members that give us a lot of hand-me-downs. Also, something else that I like to do, another big money saving thing for our family, is that when I'm out thrifting. If I see any type of clothing that I know my kids will need, maybe not right now, but at some point I just pick it up if it's cheap. And so one thing for me, I know we are always needing boy jeans pretty much in like every size. My boys get holes in their knees and their, well, you know, their jeans in the knee part very quickly. And so I try to always buy jeans if I see them nice and on sale or cheap at like a thrift store or something. So I get all of this hand-me-downs and thrift store finds, and I have all these bins in my basement. And sometimes when I come home, I just kind of throw things wherever. And so today I'm going through and I'm organizing all of this into a 2 to 3 bin, a 4 to 5 bin, and then a 6, 7, 8 bin. And actually, while I was looking through these, I found a nice pair of jeans that will fit one of my boys, so I pulled that out to put it into his rotation of clothes for right now. But it just makes it easier to know exactly what I have down there. And I do find that keeping all of these hand-me-down clothes and thrifting saves us so much money. I hardly ever have to go to the store and buy any clothes for any of my children at full price. All right, so now it is time to make dinner, and today I'm going to be making a sausage pasta dish. I went into my fridge. I always have meat that's defrosting for the week. I don't necessarily meal plan, but I just have different meat in there, and if it's defrosted, I can just kind of come up with a meal by seeing what meats I had. And I had some bratwurst that were defrosted, but I didn't really have anything to go with the bratwurst, so I knew it wouldn't be enough just on its own, so I decided to make a pasta out of it. So I just diced them up and I browned them in my cast iron skillet with a little bit of butter. And while those were cooking, I made a pasta sauce with just some sauteed onions and garlic. I used some cans of tomatoes, added in a bunch of different Italian seasonings, some salt and pepper, a little bit of cumin. And then at the end of this, I'm going to be adding in some cream. This is a very delicious, like tomato creamy pasta sauce. I also added in a little extra butter as well. So then I just served the noodles with the meat and the creamy pasta sauce. This meal is so good. Everybody loved it. I kind of made it up on a whim. I didn't measure anything. 2 cans of tomatoes, a whole onion, garlic, probably about a cup of cream. I don't really know. I did not measure anything, but it turned out so good. And this is one of my favorite ways to cook in my kitchen, is just experimenting with things and tasting it as I go and coming up with meals. And it's just very satisfying when it's a very comfort meal that everybody ends up enjoying. All right, so the last part of this video is actually into the next day when I am cutting this soap that I made. And like I said, it just cut so beautifully and I am so excited to use this. I'm gonna let it cure for 3 to 4 weeks and then we will have soap to use. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out new videos every single week.